having conversations about sex with anyone can sometimes be uncomfortable, let alone an adult trying to engage youth about talking sex. Again, as a parent, I don't think neither of my children would say they relished having conversations about sex. Being relevant, updates. I remember sitting at one of the tables at lunch, and a couple of these teenage girls were coming. I heard them talking, and they were saying sayings, and I was like, well, what does that mean? Because understanding the vernacular, we've also I've learned about TV shows or movies, things to stay relevant and current.
For me, it's not that weird. Like, it's pretty cool. Because you got to, like Cher said, you get to hear those stories and stuff from a different perspective, and they're more wise and stuff like that. So in that sense, it's cool. Sometimes it's a little bit awkward, but because I just want to be with my friends sometimes, and then we get put into groups. I have to be with the adults. Not that I don't like them. It's just sometimes a little awkward. So yeah.
So, do you mind saying how is it awkward? What is it that makes it awkward for you? Because I think that's interesting. Because a lot of people would ask me about that, and sometimes people are real hands off about mixing adults and kids that way.
So it wasn't anything bad, but I was in a group with Miss Susan and Waldemine, and we had been split up. I don't remember what exactly we were doing, but I think we had 10 minutes to do it, and our group went really fast. And Miss Susan was like, oh, I wonder why we went so fast. And Waldemine said it's because I didn't want to be there, but I did want to be with my friends. So yeah.
I feel comfortable because I have a grown son, and he's extremely supportive, and he's an attorney in Broward County, and we've always had a very open relationship. I mean, I've encouraged him from the very beginning to talk to me about things, and he's receptive in talking about it. And I think that the younger you start talking and having this conversation, and that you feel comfortable talking about it, and you realize that young people are made to feel awkward when there's not the conversation. But if you know that there's somebody who is willing to listen, and it goes back to not being judgmental. Whatever they want to tell you, you can't pass judgment on them. You have to take them for what they're asking you, and you have to respect that they've had the courage to open up enough to ask you questions.
To me, our entire group, we're one big family. It's a lot of bouncing around with stories and sharing personal experiences, and it's really interesting to talk to people who have had this kind of thing happen to them firsthand, and you can sort of grasp a lot more knowledge from hearing somebody talk about it like that, and it's you can learn a lot from other people, and yeah, it's very comforting. Sort of everyone is there for each other.
You don't get many opportunities like that where you get people that are in a 60-year age difference. So it's very interesting to see people's life experiences throughout what they've lived through and sharing that between each other.
I think it's important because people don't know a lot about HIV and AIDS. They just know what they've seen on TV and stuff like that. So it's important for people to get the knowledge and get the actual facts rather than seeing it through TV and stuff like that, or in school health where you don't really get told that much. So yeah.
Can I add on?
Sure.
I think it's also important to destroy the stigma around it.
It's been a fantastic, wonderful experience. The kids are so refreshing, they're so stimulating, and they're so optimistic. That's one thing that I really have enjoyed. And I think most of all, I think they keep me grounded, which I think sometimes is important as adults, that you need to be kept grounded. And the one thing that I would hope that they would learn from me is to try new things, to dream big, but most of all, not to be judgmental of themselves or their friends or people who look different or act different or have a different way of life. that to embrace the people and not so much to look for their differences, but see how much that they're alike. And I think by doing that, we would all be so much happier.
Well, hearing from young people in general, and certainly the peer educator program at WHAM, is I hear what's on their mind, what they're thinking about today. What does AIDS mean to them today? Because it's very different from what AIDS meant to young people in 1995, even 2000. So it keeps me growing, because I can't be stuck in the 1995 mindset with this disease, because it's so different. I have to be in 2020. And I want the kids to understand the history. But we're not going to be talking so much about the looks or the image of walking down Christopher Street or walking in the Castro in 1990 and seeing men with purple lesions on their face and in wheelchairs and canes. It's just not relevant to them. I want them to maybe get a sense of that, but I want to find out what's on the minds of young people today. And also, I think it's so important for the WHAM to train these young people, because I'm a 62-year-old man, and as much as I'm a 62-year-old, I come with certain things. When I come into a classroom, I'm certainly a different age. Many times I'm a different color, so we need a lot of different voices out there to reach kids